Alright guys, so our baby is here. It was quite a rough week a couple weeks ago, the week that she was born. That's why there's been a gap of 3 weeks between the videos. I actually was in labor for 4 days. I went into labor Monday the 6th, my due date, at about 5 p.m. and my labor lasted until Friday morning when she was born. So it was quite a long time, and my body wasn't able to really progress a whole lot very quickly, so I was in active labor for quite a long time because she wasn't able to drop. The cord was wrapped around her, and so that's why she couldn't drop into the birth canal, no matter how hard the contractions were, how strong they were, how close apart they were. We didn't actually get admitted to the hospital until Thursday. We went in the morning around 5 a.m. when the birthing center, you can actually walk in, because between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. you have to go through the emergency room. But around 5 a.m. we headed to the hospital because my contractions had been super painful the night before and I couldn't sleep all night. I made progress when we were at the hospital, but they ended up sending me home anyways. And a couple hours later, we were back at the hospital, and I got admitted finally at 11:30 p.m. Thursday night. And because labor had been going on for so long, my body was not able to relax to let me dilate more, and my whole body would tense up with every contraction, which actually pushed her farther up into my abdomen, away from the birth canal. So my hopes of having a natural childbirth kind of went out the window with that. I got this thing called therapeutic rest, which is morphine and I think fentanyl, a mixture of those two. The doctor wanted to give it to me because she didn't think I was in active labor, and she said that if I was not in active labor, this would stop the contractions. And the contractions were still coming. They were still stronger every time, and so we finally got admitted and I got the epidural. The epidural helped for a little while. It actually allowed me to be able to dilate to a 7 centimeters, but her heart rate had kept dropping, and so nurses kept coming in to flip me on my side, to flip me on my other side, and kept putting me on oxygen, trying to keep her heart rate up. So around 7 a.m. Friday morning, or actually around 7:30, a new doctor came in to relieve the one who had been seeing me on Thursday. And after reviewing the last, few hours of my daughter's monitoring, he didn't like what he was seeing, and so the next thing that we knew, we were signing emergency C-section papers. And so she was born at 8:53 a.m. Friday morning via an emergency C-section. It was definitely really scary, and it's still kind of really hard for me to talk about just because of how traumatic it was, because we could have lost her. The cord was wrapped around her neck and her body, and so every contraction was causing her heart rate to drop because it was basically strangling her. And after she was born, she still has a little bit of marks on her tummy and her back from the cord squeezing her. They're almost gone now. She's going to be 3 weeks old this Friday, but you can still see a little bit of the marks from the cord of what it left on her. And so we stayed in the hospital until Sunday evening. Her and I actually had an infection because it turns out that my water had been broken for a couple of days without me knowing, and so her and I got an infection, but we're all good now, and everything got cleared before we left the hospital. She was born 6 pounds, 7.5 ounces, so they, rounded it up to 6 pounds, 8 ounces, and she was 19.5 inches long. So she wasn't huge. She was a good sized baby for being, full term. She was 4 days late technically. She was born on the 10th, but she has been gaining weight great. She only dropped 6 ounces. She only dropped down to 6 pounds, 2 ounces at her first weight check on the following Monday after she was born. And by the time she was a week old, she was already a whole ounce heavier than she was when she was born. So that was really great. She's taken to breastfeeding awesomely. And we just had a doctor appointment for her yesterday. And she is now 7 pounds, 5 ounces, and 21.5 inches long. So she's growing crazily fast. I can't even believe it. She used to swim in the newborn clothes that we put her in the hospital, and now she's almost out of them because she's getting so long. But, excuse me, sorry. For me, I've already lost over 30 pounds since having her. Especially because of the C-section, I'm not able to really do a whole lot physically, and the recovery has been kind of rough. It's definitely getting better, and it's a lot better than it was, the first week, and it's even a lot better than it was a week ago. But a lot of my swelling has gone down, as you can tell, in my face. I had a lot of swelling around my whole body, and I've noticed, my legs are smaller because of the swelling. I finally have ankles again. My hands are not as swollen. I still have a little bit of the swelling, but it's definitely gone down a lot. But I've also been told, with a C-section, it takes a little bit longer for the swelling to go down. So I've really been able to focus on my eating and, focusing on my diet to make sure that I'm eating well, eating enough so that I can have, enough milk to feed her. And so being able to focus more on my diet has made it a lot easier to kind of stay a little strict with it. But even though I'm trying to stick as clean as possible for eating, I do have my indulgences. We have ice cream in the freezer. I don't go overboard. So I won't eat the entire tub of ice cream in one night, but I'm not restricting myself either. I decided that, I'd like to ease into getting on this strict diet because I'm learning what foods her tummy's okay with and what foods they're not okay with. I've been having to, alter a lot of things just to make sure that her tummy's okay, because what I eat, she gets it. And so I can't really have anything super spicy or super seasoned because it upsets her belly. And so I've been kind of struggling trying to figure that out, but we're getting it. We're getting the hang of it. My doctor appointment is not until the 23rd of this month, which will be a day before she's 6 weeks old. So I'm hoping, I should be able to get cleared to start doing like exercises, some cardio. Right now I'm not allowed to lift anything heavier than her, which has restricted a lot. I'm definitely moving around a lot better than I was, but my movement was definitely very limited after the C-section because, it's major abdominal surgery. That's just what it is. And I noticed my incision on the inside would hurt a lot more than the incision on the outside, which made it even harder to try and move around and get in and out of bed. But we are doing a lot better. Excuse me. And we are moving out of the apartment in April. So next month we'll be moving in to a different place. She's going to have her own room. We're going to get to paint it. So that'll be really fun. It'll be nice to not have to have her in the living room. The last couple of nights we've decided to put her in the living room and just have the baby monitor in our bedroom instead of having her in our bedroom. And it's actually worked out really well. I was nervous about it the first night just because I didn't like her being away from me and being in the living room instead of bedroom. But she's done perfectly well. The last couple of nights have been really good. Today we had a really good day. I'm slowly learning, how much she wants to eat. lately, the last, I think, week or so, she's been wanting to eat a lot more, but we've had to use, gas medicine, because I've noticed when she does eat a lot more, she gets more gassy, and that hurts her belly, and so she just gets upset. So we did have about a week where she would just cry all night, and we were both up with her for hours. But since we've started using the gas drops, and we've made sure to burp her more often, she's doing a lot better. Let's see. I noticed, you can see I'm wearing, my high school jersey, or warm-ups from volleyball. We annually have a alumni volleyball tournament. Last year it was in May. It was kind of in the middle of May, and I found out I was pregnant with her, I think, a week after the tournament. So I'm hoping that if it's in May again this year, that I'll get the okay from the doctor to participate in it, because I think that would be a lot of fun for me, and it would be really nice to be able to get into it and see all my friends again, and to get to see my teammates and play with them another time. So it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully I can attend it. There's no date set yet for when it will be, but again, I'm hoping that it'll be in May, or even maybe at the end of May, so that I can hopefully participate in it. Let's see here. I really don't have a whole lot more for you guys this week. Like I said, I've just been focusing on my diet. I've been trying to make sure to eat a lot more protein, because that would helps with the healing. I know you can probably see a soda cup in the background, but I promise that's water. We were coming home from the doctor appointment yesterday, and I was really thirsty, and so Panda Express has a giant cup, and so I got a big cup of water. So I promise it's water, not soda. I actually have not had soda since I was pregnant with her, and I'm really happy about that. I feel a lot better. I don't feel as jittery. I don't feel as tired. I feel, tired, but it's for different reasons. It's not because of my diet, and I think that had a lot to do with it when I was pregnant. But it's definitely a lot better now. So I'm gonna move you guys over so you guys can hopefully see her. I'll stop the swing so you guys can see her. So just bear with me just a minute. Okay. Let's stop the swing. She is definitely my mini me. She looks just like I did when I was a baby. She's definitely got my nose, my lips. There's my little princess, my little Amelia Renee. She's so sweet. And she snores just like her daddy. Her snores are so cute, just all the little noises that she makes. Especially because of how the labor and delivery was. I've definitely found a lot more appreciation for her when she's upset, even when she's, crying and I'm frustrated. I still enjoy those moments, because I almost didn't get to experience those moments, and that's really hard for me. I'm definitely struggling trying to deal with everything that happened, but it's starting to get better. Christopher has been amazing. He's been helping out so much with me and her, and he's been home the last few weeks. He's slowly starting to transition into, going back to work full time, and he's still making sure that he's available for me to come home if I need him to, which is really nice. And he's definitely helping out a lot with all of the emotions that I have of the labor and delivery that we had to go through. And so I'm slowly starting to figure out how to deal with it, even though I'm not exactly sure how. But hopefully, with time, it'll get better, and it'll be okay. So that's all that I have for you guys this week. Next week, It probably won't be a whole lot more. I'll try to put another video out next week, and I'll try and get some stuff done, with the studying, going back to studying the ACE materials that I have so that I can, get my certification as a personal trainer. So I'm going to start working on that a little bit more, as long as, she permits it. I should be able to get, at least a little bit, but depending on how she is will dictate how much studying I'm able to get in. But I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe my page, and check me out on Facebook and Instagram, and I will see you guys next week.